All right, so today we are doing complementary and supplementary angles. I have a little trick for you to remember the difference because sometimes kids, get confused. Let's jump into some vocabulary, okay? Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to talk about complementary, and supplementary. I don't know why I can't say that today. All right, so here's how I always remembered the difference, okay? So is it more of a compliment for a lady to be told that she looks like she weighs 90 pounds or 180 pounds? 90. I mean, no woman wants to think that they look like they weigh 180 pounds. So that's how I always remembered it. It was more of a compliment to be 90 pounds than 180. Take it, leave it, use it, whatever you want. I just hope that it helps you. That's how I always remember. It was a compliment to be paid that you looked like you weighed 90 pounds. Okay. So complementary angles are two angles that the sum of their measure adds up to be exactly 90 degrees. So you see right here, we have the square right here that lets us know that's a 90-degree angle, okay? So these two, when added together, when you find their measure, added together, it's going to equal 90, okay? Supplementary angles are two angles that have a sum, when you measure them, of 180 degrees, a straight line, okay? So when I add 3 and 4 together, it will equal 180 degrees. Okay, so the reason we need to know this is because they're going to give us some problems similar to like what we had yesterday, where we're solving for an x or trying to figure out a measure, okay? So let's get into some examples. Okay, so this first set of examples is going to be super easy. We're going to label, is this complementary, supplementary, or neither? Complementary, supplementary, bleh. Complementary, supplementary, or neither? Complementary, supplementary, or neither? Yeah, got third time's a charm, right? Okay, so we're looking at this one, and it has the right angle right here, and we know right angles are 90 degrees, and remember I said it's more of a compliment to be paid to a 90. So these are complementary angles. Complementary angles. They complement each other. Okay. Now look at this, 1 and 2. So there's 3 angles here, but they're showing me 1 and 2. Okay, so this is a right angle, but that is not, and it does not equal a straight line 180 degrees. I have to say that this one is neither. Okay. And then let's look at this one. That is a straight line right there, 1 and 2. This is going to be supplementary because that adds up to be 180 degrees. And we know that is definitely not complementary. All right, guys, so listen. If you have a question on this, please raise your hand and ask. All right, so this one we have right here. We have to know, first off, we got to figure out what is x. And they want us to write an equation for it, and they want us to solve for x, okay? So things we need to know. We need to know how much is this whole thing add up to be. Like, what is the measure? We got to know, is that a complementary set of angles, supplementary, or is it neither? Okay? Right now, I know this is complementary because it has the right angle right here, okay? So I know these two have to add up to be what? 90 degrees. All right, so I'm going to set up I know that if I add these two together, they're going to equal 90 degrees, right? So if I have 4x plus 22, it should add up to be 90, okay? 4x plus 22 is going to equal 90. All right, so now we know, because we've learned that we have to get x by itself, but we want to get rid of distant relatives first because they're easier to get rid of. You don't have to hurt their feelings as much. Okay, so that is 22. So I'm adding 22 right here. I got to get rid of it, so I'm going to subtract 22 by doing the opposite. Minus 22. Minus 22, okay? So then I have 4x equals 868, okay? Now I've got to get rid of the 4. Get rid of the 4 to get x by itself. Well, what is 4 doing to x? Well, right now 4 is multiplying x, and we know to get rid of it, we have to do the opposite, which is divide. And if we divide on the left, we got to divide on the right. And 68 divided by 4. 4 goes in 68 one time, which is 2, 8, 17. So x is equal to 17 degrees. All right, we got a couple more. I hope that you're understanding this. If you don't, please let me know, okay? All right, guys. So let's see. Next up, we have this straight angle right here, and we have 29 degrees here, and then we have x minus 5 degrees here. So whatever x is minus 5 will give me the measure of this angle, and then we know this is 29. But what do we know about this straight angle? This supplementary angles. We know that supplementary angles add to be 180 degrees, right? So I know if I add these two together, I can add them together because their sum is going to be 180 degrees. All right, so we're going to do that. 29 degrees plus x minus 5 degrees equals 180. Okay, so first I want to get rid of my 29 by subtracting it from both sides, okay? And I'm left with x minus 5 equals 180. Oh, sorry. It would help if I actually subtracted, Miss Mitchell. Sub 10, that makes that 1 and 5, 151 degrees. Woo. Okay? Now, I have x minus 5. So to get rid of minus 5, I have to do the opposite, which is plus 5. And then I have to add 5 over here. So x is going to be equal to 156 degrees. And we can check that. We can do 156 minus 5 is 151, and then add 29 degrees to it, and it should be 180. Yep, 180. So we did it right. Okay, so we have one more example. So I hope you guys are understanding. If you don't, please, please, please raise your hand, okay? All right, so last example. All right, so this is a straight angle, and we know these are going to be complementary angles, but we have 3 angles this time instead of 2, and that's okay. We can do this, okay? So we know that if we add 92, 78 degrees, and x, whatever x is, it's got to add up to be 180, correct? So let's set up our equation, 92 degrees, and you don't have to put degree sign. Can or you don't have to. X and 78 equals 180. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two together. I'm going to add 92 and 78 together, which makes it 170. So we have 170 plus x equals 180. I was putting my likes together. We've done that too. All right, so now I'm going to subtract 170 from both sides because I got to get rid of it. Subtract 170, and I'm left with just x over here and 10 degrees. All right, and we can plug that 10 in and make sure that it works. So we could do 92, 78, and 10. 2 and 8 is 10. That makes it 10, 7, 8, 180. Okay? All right, guys. Good luck.